So hey everybody, welcome back. It is Erin, and today we're going to make a fun little project with some Lawn Fawn and some clay and some Xyron and just kind of having some fun. So I was given a couple of different things from Lawn Fawn to pair up with Xyron, and I got this cute little stamp set called Out of This World. It's really adorable, and then I got this watercolor paper. And I thought I would do Twinchies. Twinchies are taking something that is a 2" by 2" square, so this is a 2" by 2", and then making like little embellishments or little cards. And so I thought I would have fun playing with all the embellishments, all the stamps, by making them into embellishments. So all I did is I took my air dry clay, which is this clay right here. I don't have to bake it or anything, and I'm going to stamp directly into it. I'm just going to use a black detail ink from Brutus Monroe, and I'm going to go through and stamp. And I'm going to use my mini block because I really want to make sure I get in and get good coverage on all my stamps. Now that's kind of smart. They put the little sleeve up top here, so it's a little fold over. So when you pull this off, you have to pull from the bottom only though, but this little piece doesn't get separated, so that's pretty awesome. So I literally am just going to take my stamp, go in, and since I'm doing a bunch, I am going to go this direction with it, where I'm going to take my ink block instead of my stamp, my ink to my block. I'm going reverse this time and doing my best. I know I kind of got some boo-boos, but we're going to kind of color some of these eventually and just come in a little bit of an impression, and there it is. And we are going to cut all these out after they have dried a little bit. If I try and do it now, they're just going to get smashed. So at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and keep stamping all of them. Some of them, if they're really small, I can do at the same time. Try and save some space. I just have to make sure that I kind of push in on all of them so I can get more than one stamp in at a time. Okay, so at this point I'm going to go ahead, and there's a couple that I kind of got really close, but as I cut them out, they should be just fine. I just want to make sure. And there was a couple that I completely messed up. And then I went through and I added little faces to the ones that actually had some space to put a little face. So all the ones that were like Saturn type or even the suns, I went ahead and did that. At this point, we're just going to let them dry, and then we're going to come back in and color them. Okay, so I've let these dry for about an hour and a half. They're still pretty malleable. As you can see, I can still kind of move it and bend it, but it's definitely getting more dry. I wouldn't be able to roll it out like this anymore. So what I've done is I've taken 70% rubbing alcohol, this isopropyl alcohol, and I've put it in little wells over here. And then I've taken my Brutus Monroe free inkers, shook them up really, really well, and added them to my, my alcohol. And what I've done is I've created a watercolor type paint, but with reinkers. And these reinkers, they stick to everything, including clay. And just to kind of give you a little glimpse, we're going to do a purple planet. I just put a few drops like I showed you, and all I'm doing now is I'm blending the alcohol with the reinker. And I'm going to go into a planet and just paint it. And I'm not too worried if I go over the lines. And if you wanted to, and I may try to do some of the waves a couple of different colors and just paint it on. It would be a regular paint. Give it that kind of watercolor look. If you want to come in and just kind of dab, and then it gets that faded look, kind of swirl it, and there it is. Simple, simple. Kind of come in, clean my brush, wipe it down, and I'm going to keep on painting the rest of these. So I cut out a couple of them. My son's here. Want to say hi? So he's over here, and I gave him a couple of these two clay pieces. He wanted a planet and a rocket, so I cut out a couple, and I just used my X-Acto knife to cut them out. And they're not quite ready, but they're getting close. And so he's going to be off to the side here and paint and use our same paints. So that's what he's going to be doing over here while I am painting these guys. So we're going to have some fun painting, right? All right, so here's the little ones that I made, and then my daughter did this one. My daughter's friend painted this one, and these are all the ones that my son was sitting here next to me painting as well, so he was having fun making their own little moons. I kind of like this one. This one's pretty cool. Let them all dry, let them kind of do their thing. Not 100% because I do want to still be able to cut them out before they turn kind of rock hard, but give them a little bit more drying time, and then we're gonna start cutting them out. In the meantime, I'm gonna clean up. So I started cutting all these little guys out, and I like using my spring-loaded scissors for these. It really does like make life easy. Again, they're still not dry. This is one where I didn't get all of it. So they're still somewhat malleable, but they're not I couldn't like make a ball out of it. It feels more like it's starting to dry as clay, but you could still rip it. The beauty of this is because you do want to cut them at this stage. If not, you probably won't be able to cut into them. And you can kind of form them back into themselves. So this is one where you're just going to kind of follow the lines. I'm going to cut them on an angle going both ways. If it's a circle, you go around the circle. But see right here, if I feel like it's just starting to kind of peel out, you can kind of tuck it back under with your finger, and it'll finish. You won't see that white extra. So as it pulls out, you just kind of tuck it back in, and then you don't see it. It kind of hides it. And if you feel like the clay is a little too thick to cut through, you can kind of take your fingers and squish it out. You can also take it, and how this guy is kind of a little bit non-circular, you can kind of play with it and get it reformed, and it's still a little bit moldable. So that's why I like cutting them at this stage. So I'm going to finish cutting up these last two suns, or they're suns, but I did a green sun for fun. I didn't really stick for, you know, there's no such thing as a purple planet that we know of. But I just had fun with the colors and played with that idea. I didn't really stick with anything per se that was normal for color schemes. I just did my own thing. So keep cutting these up and getting them ready and then letting them harden. I am going to let, yeah, I guess, see, I just cut that a little way too much, but that's okay. I am going to let them harden overnight before we play with them into our Twinchies tomorrow. So see you again tomorrow after I'm done cutting. All right, so I've let all these things dry overnight, and now they are getting hard. They're still a little bit malleable. They're not super flimsy, and they're definitely not to the point where you could, you know, remold and do anything with them. And they are going to keep on hardening over time, but right now they're like little embellishments, which is pretty cute. We're making Twinchies. Twinchies basically means two, so 2 inches by 2 inches. And I took a whole bunch of papers from this stack, and when you're looking at the Lawn Fawn stack, this one is the watercolor wishes. This is how the papers run. I'm going to take you to the back because I have it pulled from the back. One paper looks like this, and then the next paper of the same color pattern is a little bit different kind of a watercolor. It looks more, it's not so much lines, it's more just splotchy. And so I took a variety of those, all cut down to 2 by 2s. This is the Xyron sticker maker, or the Creative Station. And right now what I have in here is the permanent adhesive. And we are going to turn all these little embellishments into stickers. And I went ahead and grabbed my big guy because then I could just fit them all on here and kind of do one big giant pass and be done. So right now what I'm doing is I'm putting all the little embellishments in here and just kind of shoving them out to the back. And let me speed this up. All the embellishments are shoved back in there, and then all you do is roll. And if they're not going to catch right away, just kind of give them a little push, and they fit right on through. And here they are, so you can see, popping out the backside. Voila. And before I go any further, I'm going to put the next row in, and then do the same thing. So all you do is cut it, and then boom, you've got your little stickers. This just folds right up. The little handle folds right into here. You just kind of pop it in, and then now you've got a nice small footprint of where to store this thing. So at this point, you just kind of rub your little guys back and forth on here. Pull off the top. Now we're ready to make some stickers. All right, so at this point what I've done is I've pulled out some inks, and these inks kind of match the similar colors that I used to watercolor on here with the reinkers, and also some of the colors that are in the patterns of the paper. So I've grabbed Heather, and this is the 2x2 from British Monroe, and these are all little mini 1x1. So I'm gonna go ahead and ink the edges of all these and speed it up. Okay, so those are all done, and I'm probably done using those colors. I'm just going to start working one at a time. And on this stamp set that we got from Lawn Fawn, it also has some little sentiments on there. So for all the main stamping that I'm going to do, I'm going to use the detail ink just so they pop a bit more. I think if I did a color, it would kind of hide. So for this one, just keeping it simple. This is just out of this world. And some of them I'm going to stamp on the side, some I'm going to stamp kind of in the corner. Just come in, stamp. I know I'm going to put this little guy up here, and then done. I'm not going to make them super complicated. Now, what can you do with the Twinchies? You can leave them as is. You could also, at this point, take a whole bunch of these because they were already kind of in a grid shape. And you could take, let's say, 3 of these and play with your colors, and they could actually go on a card. Put a little backing on there, and boom, done. You know, kind of play and do stuff. They could go on scrapbook pages. They could go on tags. They could go into little project life things. So they are easy 2x2 that you can use for a variety of different things. And we're just kind of making these fun and cute. So I'm going to go ahead and keep making. I'm going to find some more that's going to fit with this out of this world. I'm going to do maybe one on the side like this. And maybe we'll do the little rocket. And just having fun like this. And the rocket could go this way, or you could, you know, rotate it. All kinds of fun things that you could do with that. There's no rhyme or reason to these. Some of them I may put more than one little sticker on there. It really depends. And I'm just going to have some fun and speed it up. All right, so that's it. What I've done is I kind of played with the placement of the stamps because some of the stamps were 2 pieces. You know, this one says shoot for Pluto, but you can also say shoot for the stars. You can have fun. So I played for the shoot for Pluto and placed the 2 of them in different directions, going around the corner, you know, having fun with that, pairing different ones. Here's another one where I did it in the middle, just kind of placing them a little bit more fun than just standard straight across the top or the bottom. And even one that was a standard, you know, do it on an angle, do it on the side, have fun with that. Don't just always do them straight on the bottom or the top. Anyway, so this is my little Twinchies activity using Lawn Fawn and Xyron. And I hope you enjoy it, and please subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.